Hello, my name is Jessica, and I'm 32 years old. This story takes place in the bustling city of Los Angeles. It's about how I fought to uncover the truth and reclaim what was mine. My son never once met my eyes when he declared, "My father is a monster. He merits nothing." I observed him from the prosecution's bench. He articulated his statements clearly, his hands clasped as if coached. Indeed, he was by the man 2 seats away. My ex-husband John, my former confidant, my past everything. The judge slowly assented. His gavel descended like a tomb cover. John acquired the house. He secured the automobiles. He took the venture. My venture. I remained silent, unyielding, not even blinking. I rose, adjusted my coat, and departed. Let them assume victory. Let them feel at ease for a fortnight. Then I dispatched the correspondence, and all they had pilfered disintegrated to dust. This began prior to the litigation, prior to the fabricated allegations, prior to the judicial tears. It commenced the day my son ceased calling me Mom. He started addressing me by my name instead. Emotionless, devoid of warmth, like an unfamiliar person to whom he owed naught. Initially, I attributed it to the divorce. I suppose John had contaminated his mind with hushed words at night, insidious revisions of our history. Yet I discerned patterns. John ceased verbal communication around him, only communicated via text. My son avoided eye contact during transfers. He declined embraces. He constantly held that new cellular device, one I hadn't purchased. I inquired of John. He chuckled. "He's maturing. Perhaps cease your overbearing nature." I offered no verbal retort. My answer was silence, patience, and scrutiny, for something was amiss, something they believed. I couldn't perceive. I initiated my inquiry with phone records connections, registered under fictitious entities traced back to John's new girlfriend Sarah, a name entirely new to me. However, John had known her half a year before initiating divorce proceedings. He was involved with her whilst we were still wed. I persisted in my investigation. I discovered recordings on the intelligent home system I had installed. John never altered the access code. Sounds at 2 a.m., giggles, murmurs. My son's inquiry, "Won't Mommy return soon?" And John's reply, "No, darling.
He's dangerous. He abandoned us. This was projection deflection strategy."
But the aspect that shattered me was that John had coached our child. Rehearsed phrases, practiced narratives. I located a video, John's voice off screen again. Stated again. "My boy, Mommy screamed at Daddy. She tossed items. She terrified me." A falsehood. I had never elevated my voice within that dwelling, but they recorded the fabrication until it seemed genuine and subsequently presented it in court. I deferred action for a fortnight following the verdict, allowing them to acclimate to their ill-gotten solace. Then my legal representative delivered the bundle, verified, notarized, dated. Contained within were video files, fiscal documents, concealed camera recordings, a missive intended for my son, and a subsequent packet designated for the IRS. I never intended to ruin John. I merely wished for my son to comprehend that I was never the fiend. However, when I finally received the communication, it wasn't from John, it was from my son. His voice fractured on the initial syllable. "Mom," I remained silent. "How could you conceal this from us?" There was us. He still associated himself with John. I paused. He remarked, "You spoke the truth." I was unaware. I gently interrupted him. "You were aware." A moment of stillness. "You simply opted not to acknowledge it." John arrived at the eatery, the very establishment where we had ratified our business agreements years prior. He neither sat nor spoke, merely stood clutching the document. "You ruined everything." "No," I countered, "you did." John's composure had faltered. He appeared devastated. The enterprise was confiscated. Deceit, embezzlement of capital. The residence registered in my name. He falsified the documentation. My attorney verified it. The vehicles repossessed. All that remained was his reputation, which was worthless. "You orchestrated this," John murmured. "Not initially," I stated. Yet the reality was the instant. I heard my son perjure himself. I commenced constructing my strategy, calmly, accurately, devoid of rage. John extended his hand towards mine. I recoiled as if it were noxious. Then I rose, placed a concluding envelope on the table. A custody plea. He's mature enough to decide now, and he is aware. We never reconstructed our relationship. There was no reconciliation, merely recognition. My son relocated with me a couple of months subsequently. He didn't address me as Mom. He didn't refer to John as Dad. He hardly conversed at all. But one evening following our meal, he inquired, "Do you despise him?" I didn't reply immediately. Then I stated, "No animosity demands vigor, and I possess none remaining for John, only for veracity, only for understanding, only for him, the child I surrendered to John's deceptions and regained through quiet resolve." My son nodded, remained tearless, as did I. John had instructed him in falsehoods. I instructed him in the repercussions. And now he discerns the distinction. John can retain the remnants. I preserved the essence.